Welcome back to Earth Chronicles, Book 2 by H.G. Shuler. The Blue Woman. Chapter 4. The light from a hot August afternoon lay like a sleeping animal across the steps of the house. A heat wave had caused near-record-breaking temperatures to set in. Yellowish stones marking the walkway could almost be heard breathing in the suffocating fumes. Logan moves carefully off the steps, one footing the walkway into the dwindling, freshly cut, blue-green grass. Above him is a sky banked with motionless white slopes of clouds. In the distance, the clouds turn purple, he hopes signaling in rain. It had been 2 weeks with the temperatures creeping up daily. Across the street, there's a man in a suit, standing in the courtyard of an antique shop. He's in the shadow of a table umbrella. He isn't looking at the vintage concrete statues or the rows of 80-year-old RC and Coca-Cola bottles. He isn't even curious about the colorful Art Deco paintings lined up against a boarded fence. Instead, he is looking across the road and the grassy clippings at Logan, keeping watch of him and his house. The police had visited earlier with a court order to search the house, which they, without the presence of respect, did so recklessly. In the aftermath could be seen 2 broken lamps, 1 ripped-up mattress, and the pantry shelving with all of its canned and boxed items strewn across the kitchen floor. The situation was less troubling for Logan than it was introspective. After the incident at the Café Sasonova had disappeared, taking his chemical computer along with her. Seeing the determination in her face, he hadn't interfered. Not that he could have stopped her anyway, but it was actually a relief to him. If they got a hold of the computer, they would have more than likely found a way to isolate him, maybe even put him under house arrest, till they could make heads or tails of the technology. And if they had somehow managed to capture her, she would have probably never breathed freedom's air again. He had seen controversy before, especially at work over technology direction problems. What he had done inside his own house, building the revolutionary computer without authorization, he kind of expected controversy to happen at some point. But this, he had not imagined, not even in his wildest dreams. He waves at the man standing in the polished suit. Underneath, he was no doubt sweating profusely. He waves a second time with a big smile, as if mocking him, hoping it would somehow humiliate him into leaving. It's apparent that this line of reasoning isn't going to work. The man in the suit waves back, his hand has but 1 finger sticking up. He abandons his attempts, allowing the suited man his victory. Western New York had never seemed so suffocating. Out of all the possibilities, he hadn't one good idea as to what to do next. Then it hits him. Maybe the best course is the simplest one. Just sit back and let the situation come to him. Little does he know that is what's about to happen. Do you ever answer your phone? A voice shouted. Beside the courtyard, halfway between the antique shop and himself, stood a woman. She just stepped out of a cute, yellow convertible Mini Cooper that's parked on the street. Say again. He doesn't recognize his own psychiatrist because she's in blue jeans and a tropical sun hat. Watching her closely, she steps from the road to the curb, walks several steps to his drive, turns while holding her hat down, gently strolling up to him. Dr. Cassidy, is that you? I asked you once already. Do you ever answer your phone? Sorry, my phone took a pretty hard blow yesterday. I got on the charger now, hoping to revive it. Your damaged phone wouldn't have anything to do with this, would it? She pulls a paper from a handbag, shakes it open, and holds it up. You read the paper today? I hardly ever read the paper. Interesting headline, The Blue Woman. You can imagine it probably sparked my interest. It says that a tattooed-up blue woman overcame 2 policemen and a detective, fleeing from the scene when they tried to arrest her. Eyewitnesses say she made the whole building shake, and let me get this straight. Oh yes, she used some kind of invisible power to extract everyone's phones and tablets, hovering them in the air before using them as weapons against law enforcement. Does this have anything to do with your last visit a couple days ago? You could say that. I could say that. Don't you have anything else to say to me? Look, Cassidy. Doctor. What should I call you anyway? Call me Cassidy. I think our relationship, Well, let's just say it's outgrown the doctor-patient thing. Cassidy, I've been through a lot since we last spoke. She holds the paper up again. Yes, well, I can see that now, can I? You care to explain how it got to this point? That's just it. I really don't. I'm tired of explaining. Isn't the paper self-explanatory? Fine. You've been through a lot. Maybe when you're feeling better. I would like to know how she went from a computer to a full-fledged human being. But I can wait. My guess is she's not here. She's on the run. You guessed right. So, what are you going to do now? Go inside. You mean inside the house? Yes, it's hot out here. You coming? There's someone I want you to meet. She was with me yesterday when the showdown at the Cafe Sasso took place. There was an annoyance in Cassidy's demeanor when she saw Sky reaching for her glass of orange juice. Yesterday's surprising events seemed to be having little, if any, effect on her. She sipped her juice without looking up from a book she was reading. Cassidy eyed her closely as they walked in. She had smooth black hair cut beneath her ears and curling inward. She was thin, almost skinny thin, but with green eyes and a face that said famous beauty or Hollywood actress. You cleaned up the floor, Logan said, catching her by surprise. When she looks up, she's surprised a second time by the sight of Cassidy. She inserts her bookmark, stands up reaching out her hand. I'm Sky. I don't think we've met. No, we haven't. I'm Cassidy. The two lock hands, nodding without the usual shake. Sky, this is the psychiatrist I told you about. I remember. I guess you heard about yesterday. She holds up the paper. It's front page. I was wondering, any idea what happens next? That's probably a question for Logan. I'm just an old neighborhood friend who's come back for a visit. I'm not getting much out of him today. Besides, you two are best friends. Any thoughts on Nova? We don't know where she's run off to. Her father's been long since dead, and she never really talked much of her mother. No brothers or sisters. She's an only child, at least that she knows of. What about friends? I wouldn't know. I haven't lived here in years. Did she work? She did a while back, I think, just part-time. Anyway, I think that fell through, or she quit. What's with all the questions? Sorry, it's the doctor in me. You mean psychiatrist? Yes. Sorry again. I'm used to blasting questions till I get what I'm looking for. I don't mind, really. The trouble with Nova is you never could tell what she was going to do next. At times, she couldn't decide what to do. At other times, she did something before you expected it. Being around her, I kind of got used to it. She was always a great friend, though. I mean it, nobody more loyal or more giving. Look, shouted Logan. See there through the window. There's some men coming from the street. Cassidy hurries to the window, pulling back the curtains a little more. They're not dressed like the police. They could be the feds. Any thoughts, Logan? Someone in a suit's been watching the house. She lets the curtains fall back, turns to Logan and Sky. That says feds, or worse yet, privateers. Sky backs up against the kitchen table. Privateers. According to the paper, there were lots of eyewitnesses to yesterday's events. There are individuals who would love to know how Nova did what she did. Sky, sit back down, open that book back up, and stick your nose in it. Logan, act as dumb as you know how. If they think we know anything, I mean anything at all, then this situation's going to get a lot more complicated. I write mystery books, but this, good grief. I'm with Sky, and how do you know all this? We've not much time. My father worked for the CIA. Then later he spent time with Homeland Security. Currently he's based in Tallahassee, back with the CIA. Being his daughter, they recruited me heavily out of college. What? Sky falls back in her chair, taking her orange juice and guzzling what's left of it. Are you telling us you work for the CIA? An apologetic face comes over Cassidy as she cowardly looks at Logan. You might have noticed I'm not a very good psychiatrist. It's just a cover. I'll explain later. There's no time now. I thought you were fine, not very patient, but otherwise. When the three men reach the door, they don't bother knocking. Once inside, they find the kitchen and trudge straight up to the table. Logan and Sky are sitting, trying to act calm as Cassidy greets them in. She pulls out a leather case, flipping it open and making sure they see her government credentials. I don't recognize you fellas. You with Homeland? Logan notices a familiar face. You're the man that caused the stir at the Cafe Sasso. The detective called you Simon. Who are you? Simon the magician. One day you're a dermatologist, the next you're with Homeland Security. I never said I was with Homeland. He waves a hand at the two other men, and they quickly start looking around the house. Cassidy sits down between Logan and Sky, hoping to put them at ease. She stretches both legs out, placing one over the other at the ankles, her black, shiny pumps crisscrossing. Then who are you with? I showed you my credentials. The least you can do is show me yours. Simon glances through the kitchen toward the den. My colleagues, and I have been retained by a certain branch of the government. I'm not at liberty to say at this time. I'll find out. It's only a matter of time. Surely you know that. Homeland, then, if that makes you feel better. And why is the CIA here anyway? Don't tell me you're just friends. Your branch doesn't waste their time, ever. I would think you would have guessed it by now. I'm here for the same reason. You must be. If you want to know about the blue woman, then I suggest you find her. She just showed up at the cafe yesterday. I already checked. She rolls her eyes toward Logan and Sky. These two arrived before her. Maybe so, but he claimed her as his wife. I think we'll just let him explain that to us. It's official, with all the attention in the room on him. Logan is now squirming in his seat. Well, Logan, that is your name, right? That's my name. Explain to us why you told the detective that the blue woman was your wife. Because she said she was, and she did have a certain resemblance. You heard the detective yourself. He thought she was mental, said she needed a psych evaluation. She could have latched onto anyone in the cafe. It just happened to be me. If I find out you're lying, you won't be able to shake me so easy the next time. So, anything else you care to tell us? I already know you work for a computer technologies company, one that has ties to some shady characters. Did you know that organized crime funds your employer, and that they recently cracked the code on a chemical computer? What? No, that's not possible. I'm one of their top guys. I would have known. And yet you didn't. Maybe you're not one of their top guys. Maybe you're just a small fish after all. Or maybe you're good at blowing wind. Either way, I'll find out soon enough. Is that your guy watching my house from across the street? How long's he been there? Since this morning, best I can tell. Simon stares hard at Cassidy. He's not one of ours. She uncrosses her shoes and stands up. He's not one of ours either. So I guess we both have some work to do. Looks like it. He motions for his men, and they again move quickly. I would ask you to keep me informed of your findings. I would do that, except I'd be wasting my breath, wouldn't I? Oh, I have a feeling at some point they'll put us in a room together and tell us to show and tell. Until then, Cassidy, if that's your real name. Until then, Simon, and right back at you on the name. Without any more words, the three men exit the house through the same doorway as they came. Cassidy walks to the window, and when she's sure they're gone, she turns, motioning for the others to come outside. Once outside, her serious side hits a new level. Those guys usually wear uniforms. What do you mean? Logan asked. I mean, they're with a branch of the U.S. Army. This is getting crazier by the minute. Which one? Sky asked. The one you never read about in the papers. They're controlled by the higher-ups. I think Homeland Security, but I'm not sure. I could tell you their guns are bigger than ours. Logan, you might as well know. They've got audio surveillance in your home. They just bugged it while pretending to look around. Just so we understand each other, I'm not an enemy of Homeland Security or whatever branch these guys are with. I think they're an important component to our national security. Contrary to what most people believe, they're subject to a certain amount of oversight. I understand your predicament, but from here on out, if you resist Homeland or the CIA, I'm not sure I can help you. If I come clean with everything, can I get a guarantee they won't prosecute or mess with my life in any way? That when this is all over, they'll let me be. I want my life back. Can you guarantee that? What does that mean? You're unable to do that, aren't you? There's nothing I want more than justice. But they're too powerful. I can't guarantee you'll get your old life back, but I'll do what I can to see justice done. That's it then. That's the best I can do. During the commotion with the three men, the sun had slid behind a large grouping of clouds. The first few drops of rain start falling. Logan tilts his head up a little, then farther, almost straight up, surveying the color of the clouds. At least we'll get some relief from the heat. That's the end of Chapter 4. Stay tuned for Chapter 5 of The Blue Woman. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next segment of Earth Chronicles by H.G. Shuler.